Microphone check 1, 2. What is this?
Your sound volume okay?
Yeah, if you turn me up in the headphones just a little bit.
Turn it up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
All right, cool.
Sounding bright.
Yes, sir.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
What?
Holy shit.
Fuck what you done heard, I'm that nigga now. Walk your nigga down, trigger man, pin that nigga down. Dope when we spin around. Used to play with me, but now these niggas scared cause I'm a dog. Beating up these niggas, putting dick all in your broad. Yeah, went and did my prison time, came home like fuck the law. I went right back to the trap. We had Dracos in the loft, beating cases back to back. My lawyer broke them bitches off. My POs ain't get a dime the whole 2 years, I shook them off. I'm not working for no crackers, crack your shit, you run your mouth. Cool to cross me, should've whooped them, but I know that nigga soft. Think you ride my nigga Tommy, we said fuck it, that's a loss. Went from homeless to a record deal, 3-4 kids, I'm a boss. See, I'm that boss.
All right. Oh, we showing our Jordans today?
I guess. I don't know.
Cool. Party people in the place to be. It's your boy, MAZI. I need a drop for the MAZI drop. Like, I have to have one.
Are you stuck to that?
What?
Mozzie's World?
What you thinking?
I think it should be called Expensive Shorts Podcast.
Wow.
You don't like that? Too soon? I mean, I thought we could get this bitch jumping.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, welcome to the show. Thank y'all for listening to the podcast. Thank y'all for watching for YouTube. Our guest today, what can I say about this guy? What isn't he doing? Let's see. You still a recording artist?
Nah, I retired.
Okay.
Yeah, actually I am. That's bullshit.
Okay, so you heard it here first.
Stop the cap.
Recording artist, content creator, or
Curator.
Curator.
there we go.
I'm a curator.
Creative content curator.
I do create content though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not the only. Like, I have a team, but I'm one of the people on the team.
Okay, listen. Just an overall curator of the cool.
Curator of cool.
Question.
Yep.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
Tired, but I'm good.
Listen, same
I'm
here.
glad I'm amongst friends.
Yeah. I'm tired too. Fresh off work, holiday season. You know how that's going.
You look good, man. You lost
Thanks.
some weight, bro.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll brag and say it on camera in case somebody watching.
Pause, but yeah.
Definitely pause.
But you lost some weight.
55 pounds to be exact.
Fuck.
In case somebody watching. Yo, boy,
You mean Laura?
Yeah.
You mean Laura's watching?
Yeah, she definitely is watching. Hey, how you doing? Listen, man, what you been up to, man?
Nothing.
Besides work.
Not a damn thing.
Stop the cap.
A lot, man. Like, so much that sometimes I forget all the stuff I have my hand in right now.
Right.
I'm blessed. That's the only thing I can say. I'm blessed and stressed at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of a good problem to have, though, huh?
Yeah, it is. Because I've been on the opposite of that, where I didn't have shit going on. And
Word.
it's like, what am I doing with my life? And now I still ask the same question. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? There's a whole bunch of shit in front of me.
Right.
So yeah, man, I am the president of Davies Entertainment. So I kind of oversee and help guide all the things that Cameron Davies has in the pipeline.
Yeah.
From a television show that's on Discovery Channel, 2 other shows that are in development, TV shows that are in development. We have a movie that's coming out with Christina Ricci that we are
movie.
Yeah, producers on. It's called Monstrous. It comes out hopefully the beginning of next year.
Wow.
Have multiple recording artists, as y'all know, that I manage.
Yeah.
Have a content creation team, so we're creating content. Launched a new content company that's what we do. We have boxing, so we manage 9 professional boxers, and we also have the Brawl series, which is our live boxing event that Skrill's got to participate in.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, tried to get Skrills to come to work for me, and he turned me down very nicely.
Wow.
Oh, that's crazy.
He literally gave me like the the motherfucking Heisman stiff arm. Like,
Wow.
How convenient is that?
I don't remember it like
How
that, but the
was-
boxing event was amazing.
yeah, I was brokenhearted at Skrills.
Oh, really?
No, I really was. I'm not even kidding. Like,
Dang.
I was very.
Thanks, man.
I really was. Skrills is
sorry.
a very talented man.
He is.
And very driven, which I love, and I feel like I'm cut from the same cloth. I'm a very driven person.
Definitely.
So to see that he was doing the things he was doing, I tried to recruit him, and we were real close. I think we were close to signing a deal. It was like, you know, it was us and his other suitor.
Yeah.
And they won out. So it
That's
is what it is.
Yeah. I mean,
One day he'll regret it.
From what I told you earlier, shit, it might be around the corner. But we'll see.
Yeah.
man.
So, nah, man. So I have that going on, and then, you know, I'm a dad. So being a dad, and
Yeah, congrats, man.
that's you know, my son sitting over here, and then
Sure.
I got a daughter who just turned 2 yesterday.
That
I got
yo.
Word. Happy
step
birthday.
kids, and
It's funny. I saw a picture of your daughter the other day. Dog, she has so much personality, man.
bro,
It's
you have no idea. Nobody like Instagram don't even do it justice. She is the most unlike any other kids I've ever been around or had. Like, she has personality, and she speaks her mind and does her thing, and she's interesting, bro.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about her is she taught herself to count on her own.
Really?
We had nothing to do with it. She taught herself all her colors. We didn't have anything to do with it. Like, she's just literally getting on an iPad and watching YouTube Kids and teaching it. She just turned 2 yesterday.
wow.
Talking in full sentences, running around. Her favorite word is nope, I'm not going to do that.
That's
it's-
fire.
And then her other thing she does is pretty funny. She makes this voice, and we
Yeah.
all laugh about it. But like, I'll ask her something, and she'll say, "No, Daddy," and I'm like, "No, I really want no, Daddy. I really no, Daddy." And then I'll go, "Yes," and she'll go, "No, Daddy." It's hilarious, dog.
That's dope.
She's something else. So I got that going on. Some other things I'm involved with.
That I'm sure that you can't speak on.
No, I can. I mean, shit, I'll tell you. I'm launching an NFT company called Run NFT. We have a content company, like I spoke of before.
Right.
Kind of the guys that my team that we're working with, we decided to create kind of a sub company within the company. It's called Hi-Fi, HYFY. So Hi-Fi, we have some stuff coming out.
Okay.
You know, the art from the artist Daniel Leone has a crazy ass album. Get ready
Shout
to
out
come
to
out.
Dan Leon,
Bankroll and Corey just got off, you know, did a couple dates with Benny the Butcher, and
which is
the
super
Soda
crazy.
guy.
Shout out to those guys.
Super dope. Soul was out there, you know, Friday night, or was it? Yeah, in Austin, which was cool. Super dope, man. Like, a lot of great things are going on. I have some other artists that I'm close to doing some deals with, and I'm restructuring how I do deals. So there's some room for adding some new faces to what we do.
So let me, with all that being said, because geez, that's a lot.
Oh, and y'all participated. I had a podcast that I started.
Oh, that's right. That's right. How's that
is,
going, man?
It's not going as well as I wanted it to because I haven't had time to finish up what I wanted to
Nah,
finish.
that first episode was crazy.
Yo, when y'all hear it, it's
That first episode was
even,
crazy.
It's even crazier. The second,
Spoiler alert, I'm in it.
yep, it was dope. And when I went back and listened to it, there's just so much shit in there.
It's a lot. It was a lot of content.
It's a lot of content, but it was fun. So I had a lot of fun doing that. I just got to find time to do it. I'm launching a podcast network called Pod Damn It that I've had in the works for a while.
Yeah, I remember that.
Quite a few things going on.
That's crazy, man. I see you have an Illmatic sweater on. Mm-hmm. One of your top 5 favorite albums
Probably my favorite album of all time.
all time. So there's this question I even kind of wanted to ask everybody in the room. If y'all want
I
to
go back and forth on that answer, just so you know.
No, I go back and forth on my
Because
top 5
it-
too.
It was written sometimes on certain days. I feel it's better than Illmatic.
So that is another discussion that people like to have. That it was written. People say it was written was better than Illmatic.
you can say it, right? But then when I think about that moment of time and how Nas shook up hip hop with Illmatic,
Yeah,
it's hard for me to put it was written over it just from impact.
right.
Musically, you can go, I mean, there's so much, but you look at It Was Written, he had a budget, he had the label really, really pushing him to win, he had all the accolades,
Yeah.
he was the it guy. So that's, to me, for Illmatic to come together the way it did, and it was very just all these producers, Pete Rock, and you know, everyone coming together and saying,
Everybody,
yo, this guy's it, and they put their best foot forward with it, and then it came out and it shook up the whole industry. People don't realize the album didn't even really sell that well at first. It wasn't like this huge commercial success. It was just like the critics and the fans were like, yo, this dude's incredible. But I just remember how that album made me feel. Like New York State of Mind, that record, I know every word because I listened to that song fucking 5 million times. It was one of my favorite songs ever. So, and Illmatic is a short album, you know what I mean? So It Was Written has a few songs I would say are filler. Illmatic doesn't. Illmatic is just from start to finish is one of those albums I can listen to. Yeah. So it's up there for me. It's always in my top 3 or 4.
It's definitely in one of mine. One of the questions I want to ask y'all is, especially, you know, you being a big fan of hip hop, I think all of us here are genuine fans of hip hop. Is there a moment where you wanted to be a fly in the room in a particular moment in hip hop history that may have happened? Like, if, for example, I'll start. I wanted to be a fly in the room when Jay-Z heard Ether for the first time.
That's a good one.
I want to see the look on Jay's face.
That probably wouldn't have been fun, bro. He probably would have screamed and yelled and been mad and just, I don't know. How.
I think there would have been a whole bunch of just meme bugs. You know what I'm saying? Like when Jay heard that line, like,
I still whip your ass. You 36 in a karate class. You Tybo ho.
Stuff like that, or how many
little shorties getting gunned up and clap quick. How much of Biggie's rhymes is gonna come out your fat lips?
I know Jay was just mugging like, and Bleak was probably like, hey, yo, pass the heat, son. I'm going to go. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for me, fly on the moment wall, there's a bunch of moments I wish I was part of, but for me would be, it sounds crazy. I really would have liked to have been in those early sessions with 50, Dre, and Eminem.
And Making It Get Rich?
Get Rich or Die Trying. I just feel like that whole thing and that trajectory and the way that he was just the it thing and they were bringing that to life. I would have loved to hear those conversations. You know, you have M, you have Dre, and then you have 50. And I think for that would be crazy. Even I've seen the videos, but I would have loved to have been in the room, the Timberland, Jay-Z, Black Album sessions.
Right.
That shit would have been fucking crazy. And then I would have loved to have been around for the To Pimp a Butterfly sessions with Kendrick, just from a musical aspect and the musicians he used and the mind frame he was in. And
I'm not mistaken, Thundercat did a lot of the work on that, right?
Thundercat and who's the other cat? Forget the dude's name, man. He's produced a ton of shit.
Terrence Martin?
Terrence Martin.
Yeah.
So Terrence Martin, just all of that. They brought in musicians.
It was very jazzy centric.
Yeah,
like, you know.
And I just Flying Lotus, that kind of shit. Yeah. Like those kind of, I would have loved to just seen how that was pieced together and put together.
For sure, man. I had went back to his catalog, just kind of skimming through it, man. And yeah, To Pimp a Butterfly was a moment in hip hop.
It was a moment, man.
It was a moment for real.
Because you can. The argument's been made that musically it may not be where Good Kid, Mad City or Damn was for certain things, but just the impact of the album, the way it felt and the energy and like the cover, the motherfucking cover, like the artwork just had me where I was like,
it was a statement.
You know what I mean? And I love those moments in hip hop when something's a statement.
For sure.
I could sit here all day and come up with 50 things I wish I was a part of, but those are key moments for me.
For sure.
That I just think about and where they had impact on me.
So I got one. And I think I would love to be a fly in the room of when Bobbito and Stretch were doing their thing.
Oh man.
That would have been
that to me, yeah, bro.
That'd been dope.
Those moments, like those tapes and like they had everyone come through there and drop freestyles and like the Big L's, the Jay-Z's, early M, fucking Redman. I mean, the
talent that went through those halls. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, though.
Yeah, when you think about the impact they had, like they were this little college radio show, and people were taping that and pushing those tapes everywhere. It was
right.
The internet was in its infancy, and they were able to spread just everything they did organically. And man,
in a way, they're like what Screw did for us.
Yes.
Kind of parallel. Like
it's definitely parallel. It's definitely parallel. Like you brought a lot of people to life and gave careers to people that may not have necessarily had one. Like you think about that impact that somebody could walk in for Stretch and Bobbito and drop a freestyle and could get offered a record deal.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty fucking wild.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would have that's also a good one. I remember paying like $30 for a couple of those on CD. Went to New York when I was young, bro, and I remember you could get like 10 episodes and someone put them on CD, and they had never been on CD before.
Oh, that's hard.
That shows you how old I am too, but yeah.
They are like a true staple
And
in,
they still
in
have the
hip-hop.
tapes.
They still
Yeah,
have
they still have the
tapes.
tapes.
They still have them.
They still have
It's crazy.
Even like the big freestyles that he was doing, like, come on, man. Early J, like, yeah, man. Stretch and Bobbito, man. They're one of the ghosts to do it. Yeah, I just wanted to be that fly in a room with Jay, heard Ether, and then be like, hey, yo, throw that. They took Nas's Got Yourself a Gun, then they hopped on Dre's Cruel Intentions for the Super Ugly joint.
Super Ugly.
Like
That's
how-
where it's funny because he did the line where he's like,
Came in your belly back seat, skeeted in your Jeep, left condoms on your baby seat. Here, nigga, the glove.
he said he got a call from his mom saying you took it too far. I'm like, after the Ether did
After Ether, like, Mom, did you hear
remember
that?
what you were when you heard Ether?
Yeah, actually, I was actually in my room because I had went to Best Buy to go buy Stillmatic, and I had came home, threw it in the stereo, then I heard the intro to Stillmatic, and I'm like, yo, this intro is hard.
Yeah.
One of the hardest intros I've ever heard, like in my top 10 maybe intros, best intros ever. And then straight into Ether, and then I heard the fuck Jay-Z, and I was like,
I was in LA.
huh?
I was in LA in a car with a bunch of people
Yeah.
driving, and it was before the album Stillmatic even came out. It was what the fuck is his name? DJ Felly Fell was on the radio, and he made his own fucking radio edit, and then played that shit on the radio. And we were in the car like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Oh, that's crazy.
Went at Jay, and like, because after the fucking takeover, you know what I mean? Like, we
Right.
expected something. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I remember like, "Yo, he just bodied this dude."
Right.
Because after the takeover, a lot of people were like, "Yeah, Nas ain't coming back."
Yeah, Nas ain't.
Because
he
Jay
coming.
was the biggest thing in the world.
Right. And then Blueprint being one of the
Biggest albums of the year.
ever. You know what I mean?
Ever, yeah. But even then, I remember Blueprint dropped, what, 9/11?
9/11.
Yeah. So for him to have that moment, I remember I was living in LA when all that shit happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, man.
Yeah, and then like it's crazy because even then, like, I allegedly jumped on Morpheus and was just searching, you know, a Jay-Z response. You know what I'm saying? And I just put in Jay-Z Ether, right?
Yeah.
Pop, and then also I just see Super Ugly, Jay-Z Super Ugly, and it said High 97 exclusive, allegedly. I
You
hear
really worried about them boys coming for you now?
Possibly.
You're straight, bro. Don't worry
Okay,
about
appreciate
that. We
it.
good.
Listen, so
Statute of limitations is over. That'd be fucked up. The feds came in. You downloaded
you
Super
downloaded
Ugly on-
Super Ugly on Morpheus back in 2001? Like,
Oh,
yeah, that'd be
questions here. You use Kazaa. You're fucked. 2 for 1. We're getting both of y'all.
oh my god! I think I had like 3 of those. Well, allegedly had like 3 of those programs.
You still scared?
Yeah, I am.
Allegedly.
WinMX, Morpheus, Kazaa. Those are like my main 3.
I remember all of them. I remember Napster,
Napster. Oh yeah,
BearShare,
Napster too. Yeah, Napster.
LimeWire.
Yeah,
I think LimeWire probably killed 7 or 8 computers.
absolutely. It definitely killed one of my homeboys' computer because
Did y'all sell CDs in high school? I sold CDs.
I did.
I burned them and
Yeah.
like, yo, I got the new album. What you want? Like,
so it's crazy because like
Bro, I used to pay $10 for a CD of instrumentals that only had like 10.
I used to do that too.
yeah.
You would tell them?
No, I used to buy them at
Yeah.
first, and then I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
hip to. I think it was my junior or senior year in high school. I got a CD burner where I could burn like
Oh,
a
you got the tower?
Oh, you had a tower.
Had like
you were the
5x5. You know? What I mean?
you were the man then.
boy.
there was so much money in that.
There was money in that, dog.
Nah, for
I
real.
go to school and make $60-$70.
Ooh, yeah. See, I think
And I would get mixtapes from New York that you couldn't get.
yeah.
And I'd put them on.
See,
CD.
same here. So my mom started questioning me. I think she thought I was like selling drugs
dope?
on the low because like
I did that too, but
allegedly. Yeah, no, because like she be like, "Hey, you need money for lunch?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." Where you get money from?
my mama too.
And you know what I'm saying? And so I was like,
I remember I walked in with new sneakers, and my mama said, "You're selling drugs, aren't you?" And I was like, "No."
I don't like to take credit for it, but I think I put just in high school. I'll go ahead and say it. I know some of my former classmates are watching. I like to take credit for putting the world on 50 Cent.
I'll
Because
tell you.
I was on the Who Kid tapes early.
I'll tell you a funny story.
Early.
I remember being in Atlanta All-Star Weekend, and I was working for the NBA doing promo. My boy got me a job, and it was right after the Super Bowl, and then it was like 2 weeks or a week until the NBA All-Star game in Atlanta.
Yeah,
and we went out there and we had to set up early. I'll tell you the whole crazy story. I ran from the police. It was crazy, bro. We had it was nuts. Anyway, but I remember being All-Star Weekend out there, and the 50 album hadn't came out yet. Get Rich or Die Trying hadn't came out yet. And I remember some dude was like, yo, I got the bootleg. And so my man was with me. He was like, yo, how much? And he was like, $50. Bought it and popped it in. I was like, bro, this ain't even going to be the shit. And popped it in. That shit was the Get Rich or Die Trying album. Wow. We was bumping that shit like a week before it came out. And then so I remember when I went back, first, because it still hadn't came out.
Right.
Put that bitch in the CD burner and was like, letting these bitches go for 20. We got the 50 album.
Damn.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I know. Same here. It's crazy too, because of course, the 50 Madness happening. You know me, I'm the biggest G-Unit fan in the world. Massacre was coming out. And I told my dad, because I had did pre-orders, allegedly, of the 50 album. I went to school late to go buy the Massacre album. Came back, burned about 5-10 CDs, and then sold them for 20.
Yeah. It's crazy to think, I remember my senior year, I can't remember how old I was. Anyway, I didn't be younger than that. The Biggie Life After Death album came out, after he got killed.
Oh, shit.
And I skipped school to go buy it at fucking Warehouse Music. Took it back to school and stuck it in my locker, and then I came back and that bitch was gone.
No way.
Someone broke in my locker and took it, but then somebody told me who it was.
Oh, you whooped their ass.
I went into I followed him in the stall and kicked him from behind. He hit his face on the stall, broke his teeth out. I whooped his ass and then got suspended. And I remember the principal telling me, what'd you beat him up for? I was like, man, he stole my CD. And he was like, why do you have a CD at school? I was like, cuz it's my shit.
It's my shit. So what?
Yeah, it was the double CD joint.
Right, I remember that.
The big thick case. So yeah, man, shout out to my man who got his ass whooped for stealing my shit.
So I've skipped school to get a CD. You skipped school. Has anybody else in the room skipped a school to go get a
I
copy?
skipped school just to skip school, bro.
I did that too, but
I didn't need it.
But I did skip school to go get albums when they dropped on Tuesday. Back then it used to be Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
I was gonna ask you about that because I remember Tuesdays I would go.
And
to
now it's
Target,
Fridays.
And now it's Friday. Everything's Friday.
So because of the internet, but prior to that, Tuesday was the release day. It was a shipping thing. So they would have something ship out, and it would take so many days to get it there. And you wanted to try to get it there early in the week, but it was also for reporting. They could report on Monday, this is what we sold the previous week, and then Tuesday stock. Mm-hmm. So that was the reason why it was all about shipping and distribution, and there was a whole formula to it. And then once that came offline and you went to digital streaming, it didn't matter anymore. And then it was more Friday makes more sense because people are out. They can be talking about it all through the weekend. This is what I was jamming while I was out of work, and then it flows back into the next week.
Because I definitely called in work to go get the Mobb Deep G-Unit album.
I remember that bitch too.
That shit was
I remember I was mad as fuck because 2 records on that Mobb Deep album they were done by Gerald Rodham. I had them already.
No way.
Yeah, they were. One of them was on one of my mixtapes that I put out early. Yeah, I had a bunch of records. I mean, I played a bunch for you, but
I remember that. Yeah,
I had a bunch of records that ended up going to other people that I already cut. The Boss by Rick Ross.
Rick Ross, right?
T-Pain. I had that first. I had Hip Hop Police first.
What was the joint you had? And this is gonna sound funny because in case someone may make a face as they're listening. What was the joint you had with Bruno Mars on it? Because that's nuts. That's nuts. Seeing where Bruno's at now, fresh off Silk Sonic.
Nah, check it out. So I had it. I had it first. I had what is that fucking song?
Nothing on you, baby. Yeah. Nothing on you. Nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you. I know you.
So I had Nothing on You first. I did a version of it. The label loved it. Johnny Shipes told me, nah, he didn't think it was the right look for me. Then Lupe Fiasco had it. And Lupe had a version of it. I heard it. It exists. He had it. And then Atlantic told him, nah, we don't think it's the right move for you. And then they gave it to B.O.B. So, yeah, I would have been out of there.
You would have been gone, dog. We probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
I wouldn't even know you.
That's a fact.
Wow.
Moving on, I see you got the Jordan 3s on. I saw you open the sneaker store. Or you're getting ready to, it looks like.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm ready for this.
I'm ready for this too, man, because I'm trying to see what's
me
there.
Too,
and
guys.
Skechers Skrill.
Listen, man.
Oh no, Skechers Skrills.
Skechers Skrills, man.
That sound like a ring to me.
It does ring.
Skechers Skrills.
So this is the joke. Skrills is trying to get us a deal with Skechers.
Inadvertently or purposely, either one.
If they're paying,
that's what I'm saying. The M-Dub ones.
You wouldn't rock no
Skechers.
You wouldn't rock Skechers. They say here's $20,000.
Nope.
Fam, look at me, dog. I'm not.
You know, I found out LA Gear is now Skechers, or the people who started LA.
Yeah.
No. Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he like sold it and then started Skechers. It's crazy.
I remember LA Gear.
I remember LA Gear
Karl
too.
Malone was one of their premier athletes. He had LA Gear.
Wait, was he?
Yeah, and he had LA Lights. They had the light. They were the first ones with light up.
I never remember the LA Lights. LA Lights, I definitely had a pair when I was a kid. And then my dad introduced me to Jordans, and I never looked back. Because every time he got a pair, I got a pair.
I wish I had that same story. My pops wasn't around, and my mom didn't believe in buying expensive shoes, so I wore all the bullshit.
Damn, I'm
really
sorry.
That's probably why I started. I tell my mom this all the time. That's probably why I started selling drugs. It's just so I didn't have to wear fucked up sneakers anymore. Yeah, I wore the fucking XJ900s and the fucking every fucking whack ass fucking shoe you can think of I wore. Or if I wore something name brand, it was because my mom got it on sale at like fucking Solo Serve or this was before Ross and shit. She go to Solo Serve, and I remember I had a pair of Chucks. Not Chuck, but Converse that were like the Magic Johnson's first signature shoe.
The weapons?
They weren't weapons because the weapons weren't actually signature shoes. It was him and Larry Bird just both wore weapons. One was the Lakers color, one was the Celtics color.
Right.
But then in like 92, 91, 92, he got his first ever Converse Magic. You can look it up. It was the ugliest fucking shoe ever. But I was so happy that I got something that was sponsored by an athlete. I was like, it ain't Jordan, but it's Magic.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, man, I think that's why I started hustling.
I'll tell you what, there is a couple of shoes that I had that were kind of questionable. Just get this off rip. Wayne Gretzky, when he did the deal with LA Gear, and a lot of the hockey players had their own signature shoes.
I didn't even know that.
I told my mom I wanted a pair of the Wayne Gretzky.
Wait, were you a hockey fan?
No, I just thought the colorway was dope.
Oh. So more about the store. We kind of got off subject.
Sneaker store.
Yeah, the
sneaker store. Yeah, the sneaker store.
So I'll explain to you what happened. We had a merch shop that we put in there just to hold, merchandise when we do boxing events.
Sure.
We had, fighter shirts and shit like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, a little bit of traffic comes with that, but we have a ton of traffic that comes in and out of that building.
Absolutely.
And a lot of clients who come in town, a lot of athletes who come in town, period. And there's a kid who worked out in the gym with Cameron, young kid. And one of the trainers said, man, I went over his crib and he's just sitting on all this shit, like sneakers and fucking shirts. And
yeah.
So I sat down and told Cameron, like, man, maybe we should just have him put some shit in here and I'll start adding some shit and we'll just see what we can find. And just kind of like, we weren't going to make a big deal about it. But the more and more we started putting stuff in there, more and more people started hitting us up. The first week that we put shoes in there, like, we sold 20 pairs, you know what I mean? So it was like, all right, maybe we should do this. And if we advertise, great, but we don't even really have to. We just have enough foot traffic in there that it kind of makes sense to have it.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff we have, between Cameron's 3 buildings.
I was like, yeah.
He has about 200 employees. So,
yeah,
30 or 40 of them are coming over there every week to see if we have anything new. And so, yeah, man, it's unique in the sense that, like I said, we're not catering it and building it just to be like every other sneaker store because obviously our clientele is different.
Yeah.
There's skateboard shit in there. There's trading cards in there. It's kind of like a little bit of everything.
I got trading cards in there?
Few, yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's another topic that really don't get enough, traction is the trading card, like that whole NFT thing. Because even I remember when the Top Shot stuff
I'm in there hard.
was crazy. Oh, you in there hard still?
Yeah, I'm still in there. Still going.
I mean, I don't want to ask, but like, what's the most expensive car you think you have right now?
I have a Luka Doncic. It's worth about $6,900 that I pulled from a $9 pack.
What?
And I got this rare. I'll pull it up. I got this rare. It's a player I never even heard of, dude. Like I don't even know who the fuck he is. So right now I have 148. They call them moments, but trading cards.
Gotcha.
Jake Layman. You know who that is?
No.
Says he played for the Timberwolves. I don't know if he still plays for Timberwolves, but I got card number 1.
Whoa.
So, they're serialized.
Right, yeah, I know they're
It was a
serialized.
limited edition. It only had 8,000 cards that they put out, and I got number 1 on that. What is the other one? Oh, I got this Harrison Barnes that was a limited edition, and it went up in value because Harrison Barnes went in there and bought his jersey number, his number 40 or whatever. He bought serial number 40, and he paid $130,000 for it, and it just shot the value of everybody else's moment up.
So let me ask you about this NFT stuff, man, because I know with Facebook, doing the whole metaverse and then this NFT thing, do you really see this like really holding up later on down the line?
No.
Because it seems like, it's a moment now, and people are getting into that digital space, you know what I'm saying? But
here's the thing, the digital space is never going to stop evolving, right?
Right.
Do I think NFTs is the end-all, be-all? No. Unless we reach some kind of singularity where everything is just this, it's always going to evolve. It's always going to turn. NFT is an evolution of just cryptocurrency, right?
Sure.
So there's going to be something more, and it's going to expand. However, I do think this window of the next 36 to 48 months of NFT is going to be like the .com boom. You're basically giving people a way to monetize whatever it is they're doing. So from art to music. Think of it like this. Right now, you have a podcast, right? Uh-huh. And the podcast, you're just putting out there for people to enjoy, and you may get sponsors, and that's the way you monetize. Or you may get ad revenue from YouTube or whatever it is, right? Yeah. You're beholden to whatever the platform is. YouTube says, I'm going to give you X amount of dollars for this much ad revenue.
Yeah.
Or, a streaming service says, hey, you did this, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars because this is what the platform pays. An NFT allows you to kind of dictate what your value is, and you can manipulate that up. And I hate to use the word manipulate, but you can say, yo, my podcast, the only way you can listen to it is if you get it as an NFT, right? And it's just built on the blockchain. And I'm selling the episode for $7, and I'm only going to mint 1,000 of them, but it's built on Ethereum, so it has value backing up. It's like the dollar has gold back. At one point, it had gold backing it up. It's the same thing. It has some kind of currency already backing it up.
Sure.
So let's say you sold it for $7, and then I go out there and just because I'm your homie, I start spreading misinformation. I start saying, yo, I just heard that MAZI's about to sell his podcast to fucking CBS or Viacom for $7 million.
That'll be hard.
And then people say, yo, those NFTs, they're going to go up in value because now your brand has gone up in value.
Right.
You have now created a market, right? And in that market, it raises the value. And really for like music artists and digital artists, but really for music, I think is where it's going to shift, because no longer do you have to sell 1 million copies to be successful.
Right.
You could say, I'm only going to mint 1,000 of these and I'm going to sell them for $100. And then you're making $100,000 off of something where you only had to have 1,000 people as part of your fan base.
Yeah.
So it shifts that. And that's where I think NFTs will expand and go. And at some point, just like anything else, it'll become oversaturated. To answer your question, do I think it'll last? No. Because nothing lasts forever.
So with that being said, I think the artist's name is it Money Man?
Mm-hmm.
Who recently did that deal with Empire in Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. I kind of wanted to get your opinion on that because I thought that was kind of interesting.
So here's my true opinion on it. It's a gimmick. Not to say it's a gimmick to get paid that way. It's smart. But it's a story within a story from a PR standpoint to be able to
it did what it did to get eyes on them.
Yo, I got paid in Bitcoin.
Right.
It's a story. So then it becomes less about whether the music's good. It's, yo, this dude's brilliant. Yo, this dude fucking decided to negotiate and accept currency in a different format.
Right.
It creates that story, and his name is Money Man. So it's all, to me, it's a branding gimmick, but it's also smart. You know what I mean? Like, he can take that money in Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin goes through the roof, he can cash out, and he'll make more money if they would have paid him in actual currency.
Right.
The dollar has never fluctuated up and down. It's never really been volatile because our economy is built on it. NFTs or crypto are not. They're volatile, and they can be super, super successful, and you can ride the wave, or they can crash in a heartbeat and fuck you. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I was buying Bitcoin in 2014, and I had 4 Bitcoin. And I bought them really early for like $6,000 a Bitcoin.
Oh, wow.
Got up to 19,000, and then it started dropping. And when it got down to about 11, I panicked and I sold all of them. And now I would have been sitting on, you know, $250,000 if I would have held on to it. Wow. You never know how it's going to play out. And it's the same thing with the NFT market. It's the same thing with crypto. A guy like Money Man can get in there and who knows, man, he may have cashed all that out the next day. It was just, and who knows if they really paid him in Bitcoin. We don't know.
Right, exactly. We don't know that.
We don't know,
you know, but it, like you said, it does make for a great story. It makes for a great story.
You brought it up.
Eyes are on him. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. How much did you know about Money Man before that?
I definitely didn't. I heard his name like through certain
conversations. How many
conversations.
people have asked me about Money Man in the last 2 weeks? And none of them knew who he was before that. Because from a PR standpoint, it's an amazing story.
It worked.
To say, yo, I got paid in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's because now we're starting to get into this new digital world.
So you were telling me about that, and that's interesting because I kind of wanted Soul to hear this part, but you were telling me that I guess since Nike has gotten into it now, they're pretty much going to be selling their items.
Do you guys know what Decentraland is?
No.
So Decentraland is like this sandbox that it's kind of like the 2K
or the Sims and things like that.
It's kind of like that, but it's this. It's open sourced. It's not, on a platform like, Xbox or anything. It's just PC. You go to PC or Mac, you go to a website. You can do it with a VR headset and have a full immersive experience, or you can just be on your screen going through it, right? So the Decentraland is this thing that has like 1 million plus users now. It's kind of like the 2K park. You can dress your guy and you pay for things, and there's buildings and there's places to go watch movies where everyone can message each other, and you can say, yo, I'm going to watch the new Marvel shit, but you're all in a movie theater, right?
Yeah.
So there's the Decentraland. But the thing is, the infrastructure in Decentraland, there's digital real estate there. So like a guy that we work with, that Cameron's cool with, he bought a building in Decentraland for $12,000, a digital building. And so when I first heard that, I was like, that sounds like the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Like, why would you do that? And he said, well, because I charge $8,000 a month for people to put their advertisement on the side of this digital building.
How hard is that?
And they're walking, there's millions of people walking through there, so they're getting something of value, right? It's this whole metaverse, Decentraland type thing. Well, then he started showing me how Nike is jumping in to create NFT sneakers for those avatars, for those people, right?
Right.
And they sell for the normal price, like a Jordan is $199 or something, or $219 or whatever it is. But there's already a resale market for digital shoes. So someone's buying $199 and then they're reselling them for like $600 because you want your character to be rocking digital shoes. And there's people that are playing in this space that are just sitting at home all day, but they're making money playing in the space. So like there's already virtual bands, like groups that you go in there and they're avatars, but they rap or they sing or whatever, and you can buy their album, you can go to a virtual concert, you can do everything, you experience it like a real person, but it's digital, right? So it sounds fucking stupid, and to a degree it is, but then
there's money to be made in it.
There's money to be made.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like 2K, those brands pay to be in that game.
Be in the game,
right? And all those things, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's really Fortnite, 2K, those kind of games have created the platform for it. But now as it expands, that's why Facebook is saying we're called Meta now, because Facebook is about to go all in on this, decentralized fucking sandbox, digital sandbox, and there's going to be these different worlds that people play in. But I feel like the NFT world, at least, like I said, I think 36 to 48 months, and then the NFT will probably die because something else will rise.
Yeah.
And it may even be less time than that.
So will you be playing this in the meta?
I don't think I'll be in there like playing.
You're gonna be a digital realtor. It was basically
right. That's what I want to be. I want to be a digital realtor or a digital content creator that in that space provides some kind of content.
Sure.
And it exists. Like they were showing me these helmets that people are wearing in there, and they were NFTs. They're just like these crazy helmets, and on the back of them they have like a screen. And when you walk up on somebody, you can see what NFTs they own, like a menu.
Oh,
and then you can negotiate with them, like, yo, I want to trade or I want to do whatever. But those little NFT helmets were selling for like $10, and now they're going for like $700-800 because people want them.
Yeah.
But I think it's an interesting space, regardless.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, the Staples Center is about to be called Crypto.com Arena.
I'm calling it the Crip Arena, but that's something.
There you go.
Yeah, no. It was funny when Westbrook had his little comment. He was like,
What you say, the Crib Arena? Oh. I didn't know what you said. My bad. They said the Crib Arena.
See, walk, homie.
Can I ask you a question? Not to change subjects too much, but
Nah, sure. What's up?
you think Frank Vogel should be fired?
I never liked Frank Vogel as a coach personally.
My two homies, they're big Lakers fans. They're in the chat with me and my son, and they're just screaming at everything going wrong is Vogel's fault. I don't think it's all Vogel.
I don't think it's all Vogel's fault neither. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And I love Russ, but I think Russ was the wrong fit for that team.
I agree. He wasn't the pick.
Would y'all trade for Ben?
Yes. I think Ben would be a great. They need defense.
When the free agency thing happened, I saw Russell Westbrook. I originally didn't want him. I wanted Lonzo. As funny as it sounds, but Lonzo and LeBron being the primary ball handler, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I think Kyle Lowry would have been a good.
He did it with DeMar, so he would have been able.
That's
to
what I'm
do that.
saying. And then
you know what trade I still can't get over? Like that Kuzma deal for Buddy Hield would have been perfect for the Lakers. Buddy Hield would have lit it up. He would have got open looks all the time.
It would have been perfect.
But does it set you to see like Montrezl Harrell and Kyle Kuzma balling in DC?
Is Kuzma really balling though?
He is.
Is he?
Better than he was in LA last year.
Well, he had to.
Yeah.
He had to. He had to step it up because Kuzma, I don't know what's up with him, man. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Westbrook right now. There's this one video. They did the N1 intro for the mixtape. Remember when they were playing the Bucks and Westbrook tried to pick the dribble back up?
Yes.
Take that, smell that. Let's go. Alright, what's Virgin? This E40 under dig, yeah. And I'm checking out this N1 mixtape, man. Yeah, it's real gargantuan, you know?
I could
made that.
He probably did.
I didn't want to say nothing, but yeah.
They had Hot Sauce in the video doing his shit, and then they did the intro from the mixtape. I don't know which N1 mixtape it was, but it was classic. It was classic.
Shifting to the Spurs, Skrills, how you feel?
Yeah, I was just about to get to the Spurs talk.
Man, so actually I wanted to ask you your general assessment of the current state of the Spurs. I've always respected Q's assessment of teams just because, like, I know you're a Spurs fan, but you just like basketball like us.
I love basketball.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I will say this, the Spurs only being 3 or 4 games worse than the Lakers, who have that kind of squad, is crazy. I'm not even shitting on you.
I don't like the shot. Like, y'all are like legit throwing shots, and I don't like it.
No. That's not a shot. I'm being real. Like, it
is though. Like,
it's crazy to me, but it makes sense. They have no shooting and they have no defense.
No shooting, no defense. Because we sit there getting abused by the pick and roll. You'd have thought we was playing 2K.
Yo, when Karl Anthony Towns was going off like that, I was like, yo, what is this? This doesn't even. The Spurs are young. This is a rebuild, obviously. I like what I see from some of the guys. Devin Vassell, I think, is going to be fucking...
He's a hooper.
Yeah,
I like him.
He plays D, and he can shoot and space the floor.
And he still looks timid. He still looks timid. Yeah, he still
Yeah.
looks like he don't have that killer. I mean, man, this is where I really miss Kobe, bro, to be honest with you, because, like, I'm sure Kobe would see players like that.
And would have just
come on,
gravitated to him. Let's work.
Yeah.
Derek White is disappointing to see that he's just not the same player anymore after coming back.
Yeah.
But DeJounte is fucking elevated. I mean, he has no choice. There's no one else there to do it. But if they get a high draft pick next year, which they probably will, you know, to get like a Paolo Banchero or get a fucking Chet Holmgren. I don't know how I feel about that guy, but just the fact that he's 7 foot.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Chet's gonna be a buzz. I'm gonna be honest.
I do too, but then there's times where I'm like, maybe not. I just saw him play the other day, and I was like, okay, maybe he's not a bust.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, and we have some pieces. Keldon's a piece.
Yeah.
You know, there's some guys there. Lonnie's a guy, when I watch him play, I'm like, yo, this dude is fucking dope, but he's just inconsistent.
I was gonna say Lonnie kind of plays out of control, if that makes sense.
He plays like Manu. He has that wild, like, I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck
I'm gonna do whatever I want to do.
And when he pulls something off, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I watch him play and he pisses me off because it's just like his play is so unorthodox, like a Ginobili, and I'm just like, how?
And he does shit, and you're just like, whoa. But it's still hard to watch because it's not as hard to watch as last year was. Last year was harder for me because it was like, yo, we have DeMar DeRozan, we have Rudy Gay, we had vets in there in the mix, Patty Mills, and we just couldn't get it done. So to see the rebuilding team do what they do, I fuck with it. You know, I'm gonna root for them, but it's still hard to watch.
Well, I have nothing to report on the Lakers right now besides LeBron getting suspended.
How convenient is fucking that?
Say it.
Thank you, Cardi. It bothers me. It bothers me as a Laker fan because you got on paper, we're supposed to just body every team in the league.
But break it down though, because yes, you have Anthony Davis, you have LeBron.
Okay.
but LeBron's aging. He's been hurt. He's been banged up this year. And then you have Westbrook, who's not a good fit because he's ball dominant. He's really
he likes to force a lot of things.
He does not shoot well, and they need shooters, right?
Correct.
You collapse on Davis or LeBron, you should have 3 other guys on the floor that can shoot the rock. They don't.
Melo's that guy, but Melo's inconsistent. He's inconsistent,
and he can't play defense. So he's a liability on defense.
He's not that guy.
Y'all ain't them guys.
The best pickup we had so far is Malik Monk.
But he's streaky.
But
he is good. I fuck with Malik Monk. THT I thought he was going to
I think he's super dope.
Yeah.
I like THT.
I just want to see him come to life. But Rondo can't shoot threes.
No. We shouldn't have let Caruso go.
You cannot space the floor with Dwight Howard and fucking
DeAndre Jordan. They can't go out to the perimeter and guard anybody, and they can't shoot threes. So you can't clear the paint. You can't make room for anyone to work. It's just a log jam. So I don't like all this negativity on.
No.
Right
what I'm
now,
saying
man,
is like
guys.
you look on paper,
like
but where's the shooters? Where's the defensive anchorship? The guy who can go out to the 3-point line and guard someone, then go back in the paint. Believe it or not, they had that with Drummond. They had that with Gasol. They had that with JaVale McGee.
Yeah.
They don't got that with Howard.
That 2020 team that won, like that was the best assembled team, if you asked me.
And what's crazy, like this was the assessment.
The asterisk, you mean?
The asterisk.
Whoa. Relax.
Because it needs to be said, and question knows. When the Spurs won in '99, bro,
we heard a lot of asterisks.
talk, and you'll still hear one from me.
Shaq don't let that go. He
exactly.
Doesn't let that go.
Or my man Phil Jackson.
So the bubble doesn't count as an asterisk?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's an asterisk, but if you had the emoji with the face mask on it, you could throw that on there.
Okay, I'll take that. That's an asterisk.
Yeah, that's
it's an asterisk.
Same thing. Same fucking thing. How did you become a Lakers fan?
So
can I ask you this? Is it just to be contrarian to all the people here?
No.
Did it start there because you just like all the people at school like the Spurs, so fuck that. I like the Lakers. Did you fuck with the Lakers? Did you have a point where you fuck with the Lakers before they won all? When did you become a fan? Is my question.
So
were you down with the Eddie Jones, Eldon Campbell eras, Nick Van Exel era? Okay.
Yes. Okay. I was rocking with them. So growing up in a household, well, my dad's from South Central California.
So never mind.
So growing up
that's all you gotta say.
Like in my household, no one was a Spurs fan. So my dad was a Laker fan, of course, growing up. You know, he was telling me stories about when, the Celtics would beat the Lakers in the championship. He would be in his room crying, like his eyes out. Like he was that diehard of a fan.
Right.
My mom thought Michael Jordan was cute.
So she was a Bulls
fan. And I think that's why, low key, that's why my dad cut his hair bald. Because I'm going to just put that out there. Pops, if you're watching, what up?
Yeah.
So
I like that.
That happened, and then my sister, she just liked any Q player in the NBA. So at the time, she was a fan of Shaq and Penny with the Magic. But she was also living in Houston because she was going to school at U of H, so she was a Rockets fan as well.
Oh, man.
So
confused.
So here I am just watching the sport of basketball. Like, I love the sport. I rocked with the Lakers because my pops. I liked the play of Penny and Shaq. Here's the kicker.
Shaq came to the Lakers.
Nah. I was also a fan of the Hornets because of Muggsy Bogues.
I liked Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson was dope, but I liked Muggsy Bogues because he was 5'3". Mind you, I'm in school. 5'3". How tall is 5'3"? Oh well, when I get older and I become 5'3", I'm gonna get into the NBA. That was my thought process. But then
he gave all hope. Short people hope, bro.
Right, he did. But as soon as I passed 5'3", I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to the league. 6'1", all right, cool.
Did you play at Judson?
Yeah.
How good were you?
Dude, that was pretty decent.
You started?
No.
Were you a legitimate sixth man?
I wouldn't even say that because I quit at that time.
You quit when they told you weren't a sixth man? Wait, hold on.
So let me tell you the story. So like, there was a practice with Coach Wacker. I know you remember Coach Wacker.
Coach Wacker.
So he had one of his Bobby Knight moments.
Tantrums.
Yeah. So we were doing suicides. He put the ball in the middle of the floor. He put the timer at 0.3. You had to go out there and dive for the ball and at least touch it in 0.3 seconds. If you didn't, you had to run. I said, fuck that, I'm out.
Wow. Like, nope.
You gave up your hoop dreams because you didn't want to dive on the floor?
So then I went to Clemens, tried to hoop for that team over there. They didn't want me because my stamina, I couldn't keep up with them because they were doing a lot of running, like a lot of conditioning. A lot of conditioning.
You know what it sounds like? You just have a problem with running.
Because I didn't care, like...
Yo, pass me the fucking rock.
Pass me the rock and let me do my thing. And that's the thing. I was giving a lot of their players buckets.
All this conditioning
Fuck
shit.
the conditioning. I was giving their players
practice.
I was giving buckets to their star players.
I got you.
But conditioning just wasn't my thing. I didn't care. And they like to do the organized ball shit. No, man, set a pick and roll. And if we having the ISO, I get him the ISO. If we get the pick and roll, my man's open, I'm throwing the lob or I'm throwing him a nice pass in the paint.
He sound like Michael Jordan.
What did Jordan say? I took that personal. I took that personally. And so then I went to a charter school, and yeah, that's when I started and really went crazy.
Similar journey for me. I played ball at Sam Houston my freshman year. And, of course, you know, didn't play much. And I went to Roosevelt, made the B team. Then I went to Lee. And when I played at Lee, I actually was fucking JV, but I was balling.
Yeah.
And then I got into trouble. I got kicked out of school. And then I went to go live in the hill country at my mom's because my dad went to prison. And, dog, that was the greatest thing that ever happened to me because I was the man. I led the state in three-point percentage because it's a 2A school. It was a little small school. I was scoring like 29 points a game. Fucking
so like
I loved it.
I had a story like so. My friend Dante had a similar story, and I'm pretty sure the people that know Tay from the previous pod and all that. So Tay, he tried out for the Justice team. I don't think he made it, but then he ended up switching schools and went to Gervin, and he led
Gervin Academy,
and he led the city in steals.
Yeah, it's like it was crazy because I remember my coach. I ran into my coach from Roosevelt at a restaurant. And I walked in and he was like, man, I've been seeing your name in the paper. You leading the state in 3-point percentage. And I was like, yeah, man, you would have kept me in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I played at a small school. I always leave that part out.
Right. No, that's the thing I leave out too whenever I play, you know, for the charter school. Because I was out there doing my thing. Dog, I was giving boys 30.
Yeah, I was giving
people
legitimate 29.5 a game.
So peep it. We was undefeated the whole season. Championship game comes out. We lose by 7. I gave the team 35. And they got on MySpace. They found me on MySpace and just DM me talking bad shit.
I got a question real quick, Mozzie. During that time, what song was on your...
on my MySpace page?
Yeah, at that time, at that exact time.
Window Shopper.
Don't use a window shopper. Mad at me. I think I know why.
Come on, man.
Yo, but on a side note, because I feel like we're beating up on Mozzie right now.
That's all good.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's the show.
I wanted to pick questions, Brain. Like, when you look for artists or talent or people that intrigue you, because I know I've sent you music before of artists that I thought were okay, and your insight is just way above than I could, you know, look at an artist like. So I just want to kind of get your thought on how you process that. And like,
so it's hard because I have two brains when it comes to that. I have the brain that's just my hip hop MC brain, right? Okay. And I always start there because it's just where I'm at, who I am. If someone can't really rap, that always bothers me. And truthfully, that doesn't really matter in this day and age, but it matters to me. I look at these things like a startup business, right? You're looking at like you're a bigger company who's trying to absorb or bring in a startup. You want to make sure they have some of that infrastructure in place. Obviously, when you join forces with them, you're going to accelerate that and bring it up. So that's something that I always have to look for. Do they have a team behind them? Do they have any kind of fan base or organic audience? Do they have that it thing, you know, the look, the feel, the vibe, the energy? Those things are truly important.
Gotcha.
And that's hard when I'm also trying to look at it from the lens of, yo, this is just a really great MC.
Right.
Or not even an MC, because I look at all genres, but I start, you know, obviously my hip hop acumen is, you know, that's where I came from. That's where I cut my teeth. So
sure,
that's where I lead from. But with any artist, I always look from it from the talent standpoint, and then I try to look at it from the business standpoint. And if those two things can measure up in some way, that's usually a good start. But it is hard. It's hard for me where, you know, there's artists right now who I think are fucking incredible. They're super incredibly talented. But when I have the conversation with them, those other things are not there.
I got you.
And when you try to give them feedback on those other things, they're not receptive to that. They've come up in I hate to say it, an entitled generation that just feels like I'm dope and that should be the end all be all.
Right.
And to me, I give this stupid analogy. It really isn't a stupid analogy because it does make sense, but I give this analogy to artists all the time. Is making music or whatever you want to call it, whether it's a beat or it's a song, is like making a slice of pizza, right? The pizza can be super, super fire. It's just a really good slice of pizza, right? But if I'm driving down the road and there's 2 pizza places on each side of the road that I've never been to, and this one is yours over here and literally just has an open sign on it, there's nothing else, And then the one on this side has lights and fucking music, and there's a line out the door, and just the presentation looks appealing. Which one am I going to stop at? Even though this pizza may be 100 times more better than this one over here, I'm going to start there first and then examine whether, this is fire or whatever else you have on the menu. So you have to treat these things like it's a startup, because the music industry itself does not exist anymore. The way that people think it is, it doesn't exist. There's a content industry, and music can be centered around the content, but content is what everything is. That's why you see guys who may not be as talented, but they're able to create content that moves the needle and has people captivated. However, when we go back to that NFT conversation, that's where I get a little excited, because now I feel like I can play in a space with an artist that may not be able to go garner 30, 40, 50,000 fans out the gate. But if I can get them, let's say, an audience of 1,000 people who are willing to spend $10 a month, that's 120 grand a year. You can live on 50 grand a year and take 70 and put 70 right back into it. And by year 2, you take that audience of 1,000 and you move it to 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000. And at that point, you build leverage, and then the conversation changes, because once you have equity, you can leverage that to go get deals and say, look at my audience, it's generating this kind of money. That's where it's really hard for me, because I can't always just lean from where my soul is when it comes to music. And that's difficult for, I think, anybody that's in this space. And it's not just me. If it was my own money, I'd probably approach it differently. But because I have partners and I have people I'm beholden to, I have to view it from the business lens too. And sometimes that shit crushes me, because there's artists that I'm super fucking excited on and I want to take a chance on. Yeah. But I realize they're not there yet. And then when I try to give them the feedback, that conversation usually doesn't go well. It usually turns into woe is me, and this is why I don't fuck with nobody, because nobody believes in me. And, there's a lot of just straight up crying. And I always tell them there's no crying in baseball. You know what I mean? So
I've heard you say this before, that it has to make sense for you too.
Sure.
It's, you could be, like you said, the dopest rapper in the world, but if I don't see some type of return.
Yes. I mean, who wants to put $50,000 or $100,000 into something and see nothing back?
Exactly.
Not even just, if I broke even, I'd be cool. I don't want to lose 50 to 100. And I have, I had an artist that I lost $60,000 on. Mm-hmm. My own personal rap career, I probably spent $100,000 that I never got back. So nobody wants to lose like that. So that's the difficult part.
Yeah.
Or even if I lost some money, but I knew that I accentuated the brand to a point where I can make that back later, I'd be cool with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yes, I have to look at it from that lens, and it does make it difficult to make the decisions I want. I have an artist right now who I think is, I think he's super, super, super fucking dope. But he has he has zero fan base. Mm. Like when I say zero, like he might have 4 people following him.
Wow.
So nobody knows who it is. And so to work from that, I have to explain to him, it's going to take me twice the amount of time, energy, and money. It's not even just the money, it's the time and the energy that I'd have to put into that just to make you a household name, or even not even a household name, but just a local name. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that, but I'm getting better at it, and I'm starting to realize I'm getting better at it, and not from a cocky sense, just like from mistakes and failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
From it. So
learn, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not comfortable answering this, I totally get it. But quick draw question.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you did there. That was
nice. I like it. It's nice.
You got a blank check. You're head of a label. Mm-hmm. Here locally, if you just had to pick some names, who would you be able to get?
Put them on the spot.
Get, and just kind of, again, you have the resources, and you can just kind of
If I had the resources and it wasn't something where I'd worry about it.
And of course, not just throwing money at it, obviously, but just people that you would feel.
Yeah.
Man, that's such a loaded question. I talked to you about this. I really like this Lido kid that I've been seeing.
Yeah, shout out to Lido.
Energy is cool. So Lido's somebody I think is really dope. E-Twist is dope.
Twist is dope.
Even though he's probably not like my kind of music, but I see that the reaction people having to him, Mateo's son, the way these kids react to him. He came to my studio and it was crazy. He walked through the gym and literally all the kids in there training stopped and went crazy for him. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. I just didn't even realize he had that kind of impact.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because not to cut you off, but I remember when I first heard about when Blake and Mateo were a group. But,
the Doty Boys.
The Doty Boys, something like that, right?
Yeah.
They did a show, and it was packed from wall to wall. And I'm like,
yo, it was packed.
Who are these kids, man?
But
like
they had that outreach to all the high school kids, and they built a buzz that way.
Yeah, man.
You know, before there is an artist here that I'm thrilled by. I've never met, I've never talked to. Have you heard of this Vermin, the villain?
I have, because
yo, that dude, whoever he is that shit is dope. He wears like a ski mask and like, but he's like on some old school hip hop shit. He sounds like he's rapping like,
I've never heard of this cat.
Some boom bap shit.
So I was asked to get him on the Cypher project. Because Frank from Waves told me about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's dope.
That kid Traylon from here is who fucks with Frank. Traylon,
I like Traylon.
I love Traylon's music.
Traylon's dope.
Who's this other kid? The kid that y'all fuck with, the Deshaun J kid.
Yeah, Deshaun J. Yeah,
he's dope.
Shout out to Deshaun J.
I know I'm forgetting so many people. I feel. Yo, you know who I really have started to like a lot?
7098.
Yes.
Yeah,
7098.
Bro, his album is crazy.
He's dope as fuck.
I'm gonna be honest, dog.
Him and the other cat that dropped around the same time, if not a week before, was it Jace?
Jay Soldier's from Austin, but that's my dude.
Okay, well, like I didn't know he's from Austin, but both of those albums I was listening to back to back.
Jay Soldier is somebody who I'm on the verge of doing a deal with.
Yeah,
dope.
Yeah. It may or may not happen. Just a lot of things have happened in the last couple months when we were trying to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of attention, a lot of eyes on him. I love him for who he is, but he does have some of that trying to talk about how this works. He does get frustrated. Like he went and had label meetings. He went and talked to a lot of different people. He had eyes on him, and they all gave him the same feedback. Yo, man, you're really, really dope, but you don't have the fan base. You don't have those things, the proving ground that if we're going to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in you, at least we think we'll make our money back.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, record labels especially are scared to lose money.
Right.
Because they're losing money.
Do you even need a record label these days?
Do you need one? No.
Sure.
But
labels have the resources and all that stuff that you may need.
Here's the thing. I tell this to people, and it's true. Those infrastructure and those machines are so ingrained into everything that they can pick up a phone and make things happen that a lot of people can't.
Right.
But what you get in return may not, you're going to lose something to gain something. And there's two ways of looking at it. One of the lenses is, yo, man, they're robbing you. They're taking your masters, or they're taking this, or they're taking a piece of publishing. However, you get a smaller percentage of a bigger pie versus getting a bigger percentage of a smaller pie.
Gotcha.
And you really have to look at it from that lens and balance it. But do you need one? Absolutely not. I think, and it's something that I'm just trying to do with what I'm doing with Artificial and is create more of a kind of a brand agency.
Yeah.
And it's more on par with I'm partnering with this person, and it's kind of if you took a management company, a record label, and a marketing company and you just put them in one, that's the kind of service that I'm going to try to offer, but I think you're going to see more and more of it. We saw it years ago. I know you remember just like the cool kids signing with Mountain Dew.
Right.
I think that's going to be the next wave where it's going to be products or brands who do deals with artists so they can continue to put out music. This day and age of like the traditional like streams and being on the radio and all that shit's going out the window. Yeah. Like we're about to embark on a whole new path when it comes to how music is sold and distributed and how people react to it.
Yeah.
Very different. Everything's just different.
Wow.
And it's ever evolving. So
I was gonna say, yeah, it's an ever evolving thing.
Who else, man? Y'all tell me who else y'all fuck. Like I'm gonna pose the question of just one answer because I can name a bunch of names, but for me, right now, excluding the people I'm already working with, it would probably be 7098.
Ooh, that's a very good one.
That's a good question.
I honestly, man, Ant Fish is somebody I really fuck
I think
with.
I think Ant Fish is dope. I think Ant Fish is real dope, actually.
I was gonna say, yeah, 7098 Ant Fish. I like Eddie Rowe. Something about Eddie Rowe that I like, man. I think
I've been talking to Eddie. I like his music, but I told him the same thing. I said, fam, you have to be out there. Like, you're not putting yourself out there.
Yeah, because he'll make his music and then
that's it,
and then dip back in the
being kind of anonymous. Unless you can really make that a marketing ploy, like some Ghostface Killer shit. Like nobody knows what he looks like.
Right.
You could do that, but he's not doing any. And I told him this. It's not like in any way hating on him. I think he's really, really dope.
Yeah.
But he has to figure out how to create some awareness and some just people engaging what he does. You know what I mean? Doesn't have a lot of followers. Not a lot of people are familiar with him. You have to figure out a way to change that. So, but Eddie Rose dope. There's a few other
Eliza
people.
1K raps her ass off, bro.
Yeah, Eliza 1K is cool.
Listen, I fuck with Eliza 1K too.
Bro, and her whole like, I mean, I don't want to call it a gimmick because it sounds disrespectful, but her whole like character, because it kind of is, you know what I mean? Because I was telling MAZI this, that like she like turns it on and turns it off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's what this is. It's entertainment. You know what I mean? Like you have to learn how to take. Basically, to me, what I've always told people, being an MC or being a rapper, and really as an MC, you're just a character of yourself. You know what I mean? Like it can't be made up. It has to be an extension of who you are. But of course, you're gonna try to build it up to more than what it is. You know what I mean? Like anybody. When I first started rapping, like shit, I sold a lot of dope, but not the amount of dope I did on my records. You know what I mean? Right. There's always gonna be some stretching the truth. Yeah. And you always want to live in the space of being real, and so that's a hard thing to balance. But this is entertainment. Yeah. And if you can be that character, like someone like Luda is someone I always love because Luda knew how to be that character when he needed to be that character, and he knew how to be not when it called for something else. Right. Who else you like? So
MC Squared, I fuck with them.
Oh man, dog, I've been meaning to get with them. I fuck with them. They remind me of Mojo so much. I started with Mojo. I managed Mojo. I remember that? Yeah. On. I fuck with them. I haven't got to sit down with them, but I've messaged them a bunch. I fuck with them heavy.
Yeah, and then what is it? Third Root.
Third Root is my people. That's Charles and Max.
Yeah.
And we're getting a new Mojo album.
Are we?
Yeah, they reunited. That's gonna be crazy.
Looking forward to that.
But yeah, man, I follow like the heavy rap shit.
Yeah.
So, but
I follow both, man. Like I said, my heart is more just. I love MCs. I love people who can do that. But at the same time, like I know where we're at in this generation. Right. So I have to balance, and I do have to rely on my team. Like I have a really. Give shout out to those guys.
I thought of a name too. Banco Ray.
Yeah, Banco's dope.
Yeah, I like that.
Banco Ray is dope, and I think just out of speculation and seeing what is going on IG, I think LES did end up scooping them up.
Yeah, he's been shouting out the Dios brand for a while.
Right.
So I've kind of
because I know LES had ended up bringing him like to the store and him kicking it with him and Freddie Gibbs. I think when Freddie Gibbs had pulled up to Houston, like Banco was kicking it with them. So
Banco's real tight. Roland Ryan is
Roland
tight.
Ryan is dope.
Yeah,
because they definitely give me a Dom Kennedy vibe,
you know whose energy I like? The Richie Raps kid, the Rich Greedy or whatever.
Yeah,
I like his energy. His energy's cool. I love the MC shit. That's the stuff that I like that sticks to the ribs and it means something to me. However, I also know that this business is going a certain way and I have to navigate through all of that. My goal is to kind of spread that out as much as I can.
Right.
But I have a team, Quentin, Michael McKenzie, AJ, all the people I have over there. Robbie Rob is over there now.
Shout out to those guys, man.
Those guys also keep me grounded and they keep me up to date on the shit that's new and have conversations with me that I fight and argue with them about all the time. They're like, nah, you're tripping. This is the dopest shit out. And I listen to them like, this shit is horrible. What the fuck is this? But I also realize my age, you know what I mean? I'm 40 now, so I'm not a young buck anymore. This shit doesn't resonate with me the way.
Ain't it crazy how that all just comes full circle?
It's crazy.
Whenever our parents would be like, yo, what do you listen? Turn that off.
Yeah.
That ain't real
and
music.
Now I'm
blah,
that
blah.
guy.
Now we're all that,
I'll give Justin credit. He listens to a lot of shit that I think is dope. But he listens to shit I think is whack too.
Yeah.
But then my oldest son, he listens to all this like Suicide Boys and all this shit that I can't get into.
Yeah. So that brings me to my next question. Do you think that lyricism is coming back around? Like,
here's the thing, man. This shit is always cyclical, right? And here's what happens. I wrote an article years ago about it, but so lyricism itself, the reason why it kind of, I don't want to say crumbled, but just wasn't the forefront, is because those gatekeepers, those people who were into that, they turn into snobs. Like, I'm more elite. I'm a better rapper than you, right? And it became this like, you ain't shit. And these kids were trying to keep up and they couldn't do that. And so what these kids do is it's almost like punk rock music. They were like, all right, man, I might not be able to play an 8-minute solo like Jimi Hendrix, but the punk rockers just started fucking wailing away and screaming and yelling and created this subgenre. And the subgenre, people are attracted to that. when things have these moments where they shift and they swing to popularity, where lyricism was, that's what you judged everything on. And that's why I hold it so close to the heart, because I came up in that era. You had to really, really rap to have any chance of doing anything. You had to really, really rap. That changed when that becomes the standard, and everybody's like, you know what? You're not going to tell me that I can't make music because I can't do what you do. And so there was this defiance. And then it becomes where, oh shit, all right, this is easy. I can put on auto-tune and just call it a vibe and call it an energy. And it feels new and it feels different. Whether it's takes a lot of talent to do or it's good, that's an opinion, right?
Right.
But it creates that energy. And then so that thing gets shoved down and it's like, fuck y'all. Y'all had y'all's reign on top. Now it's our turn to do this thing. Well, now we're at this kind of moment, this peak moment where everyone's doing that kind of music. And so lyricism
is rare.
Yeah. And when someone can do it, it's new and fresh. And like, I was sitting at the Griselda show and I was watching all these people just wowed by it. And I was like, it's dope. But at the same time, I grew up in an era where everyone rapped like that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that shit ain't impressive to me. Like, it's impressive because it's happening now. And I think all those guys are great. But when I listen to it, I'm like, all my homies rap like that coming up. Like, I know guys that'll kill those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But lyricism, will it come back? Of course. Everything is cyclical. And what happens is what's happening to me right now. Now I'm in a position where I hate using the word, but quote unquote an executive, and I'm making those decisions. A lot of us guys who came up in that era are now in positions of power.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be looking for, Little Uzi Vert. They're going to be looking for the next Nas, the next Wu-Tang, the next Eminem, so on and so on. So those things are cyclical. And then what happens is in 10 years, the guys who came up through the Little Uzi Vert area, they're going to be in position of power and they say, yo, I don't want to hear fucking rapidy rap. I want to hear the vibe shit. I want to feel like something that I grew up and I identified with. Those things work in patterns, just the way anything works. Fashion works that way. The toy market, you always see these new toys come back and you're like, yo, I had that shit when I was a kid. It's because someone my age became a toy executive and said, yo, let's bring back the Slinky.
Yeah.
It's all it is, man. And so these things work in cycles. Is lyricism going to come back? Of course. And then it's going to die out again.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some other subgenre that everybody reacts to, and then it'll shift. However, I think that the game is changing and shifting in a way where that shit's not really going to matter anymore. If you just like something, you gravitate towards it, and it has its moments. Because of things like NFTs and crypto and all this decentralized world and all the shit we're working on, you're not going to need 1 million fans to like lyricism for it to live. You're going to need 5,000.
Yeah.
And if those 5,000 are willing to spend X amount of dollars to be part of that culture and that subculture, it lives. You know what I mean? So, I yes, but no.
I got you. No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great answer. Thank you.
You're an asshole for that, but I love
you. Listen, man, like, how can you close up a great conversation like that? Because it's funny though, but like CJ kind of said the exact same thing when he was on here. Because we were talking about artists getting with the producer, like the traditional thing, getting with the producer and trying to find that sound. A lot of these kids ain't doing that shit. They're just going to go. They're going to go pick beats. Get them, make the record dope.
Beats on YouTube, or they're going to put some loop on FL and call it a day. And the creation aspect, that's why, this is where I sound like an old man, but when I was coming up, nobody had equipment.
Right.
Like now, everybody can make a beat. You can make a beat on a fucking iPad and put it out as a song. It's happened, right?
Yeah.
But when I was coming up, there was only one kid in the neighborhood that might have had like a fucking MP or might have had a fucking ASR 10. Like, you only had one person who had that.
Yeah.
And you couldn't record in your crib. You had to go find someone who had studio equipment.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I remember going to the studio and saving up money, washing dishes and selling drugs and doing all this shit just so I could go record.
Yeah.
But all the people I was recording with was like, you got to know your verse. You got to know your verse because we're paying fucking $50 an hour for this shit, right?
Right.
So you went in there and everything was perfect. Everything just boom, 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 boom. And you put so much time and energy into making sure this was right because it cost a shitload of money. Now, these kids could sit in their living room and fucking make this shit on a computer, and it happens like this. They can make a song in fucking 13 seconds and half the time now they're not even writing nothing down. They're just humming to it and they say, yo, this is a vibe, right? That sounds like the angry old man thing. However, there is something, it's just a different way of doing it, and there is some beauty in the fact that they don't have to struggle and go through the things that we did. It doesn't make me lose respect for whatever they feel their art is. I just know the way that I made it was different. And I know that there was, I hate to say it, man, it was just more heart and soul put into it. You know what I mean? There really was. Not to say these people don't care about their music, but that's why I say the content generation. They don't just care about the music. They care about the content they're creating around it.
Wow.
The music video has more importance, and really music videos have even kind of died because people don't want to sit for 3 minutes to watch something. They want to get that shit in 30 seconds to a minute.
That's why TikTok is so crazy.
TikTok has gone crazy, and you see, I have artists tell me this all the time, like, yo, I had a music video coming out, and it only got 500 views, but the teaser for it got 1,400. Why is that? And I'm like, because it was 30 seconds long.
Right.
Somebody has time to do that. They don't have time to sit through a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video. And even some of the stuff, you know, I've given you this feedback about stuff y'all do. Like, the long form shit is there, but you guys also have to continue to make the short form stuff to get people to.
Yeah.
Because we live in a fucking microwave content era where everybody just wants everything quick and fast. You know, it just is what it is. And you have to adapt. And if you don't, then you die.
Damn. Well, there it is. Either you adapt or you die.
Or die.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the mind of Question, thank you for coming on the show and dropping.
Shit was fun.
All these gems, and of course, you know, roasting the Lakers as usual.
Dog,
Thank you for that too, man.
Wasn't even roasting them.
No, that's fine, because I'm definitely gonna get Polo Marvin up here, and we're gonna have our Lakers State of the Union episode, and it's about to get insane.
You're not gonna have J-Boy and Polo Marvin, so it's the real effect.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
That's a real Lakers fucking powwow.
Lakers State of the Union, yeah.
Y'all should do crazy. Lakers Giving and just come up here and just
Lakers get. Wow, I like that idea. I like that.
I'm coming here to mess all that up.
You're gonna be dressed as a
overrated.
Real quick, man. Shout out to I told you Daniel Leone has an album.
Yes, get your shout outs off. Let us know what you're doing.
I have to plug this because his album really, really is fucking dope. I'm not just saying it. I know everyone, but it's really dope. He worked really hard on it. Shout out to his band. They put a lot of time and effort into it. So his album tentatively is December 3rd, but I think it's going to come out a week later. We're just working through a few little things. And then Bankroll and Corey have a joint album they did together that's super dope. And then Bankroll has a 2-part album coming out, double album.
Yeah.
I fuck with Bankroll, bro.
He's Bank's my guy.
He's high energy.
And I'll tell you what's crazy I love about Bank, man. So, you know, Bank's from Atlanta. You guys know him well. Like, he has that energy. He's got that, like, trap shit going on. He can do it. But so many people don't know that he has this, like, hip-hop, almost B-boy side to him. And when he does that shit, he really, really lands it. And, like, going to the Griselda show and being on tour with them and, like, being around Benny and Rick Hyde and all those guys, like, he's in his bag.
Yeah.
And it's dope. Like, the shit he's doing is super dope. So he has an album next year coming out, double CD, Mo Money, Mo Problems. So one disc is Mo Money, the other one is Mo Problems, Super 5. And then Corey Kendricks has an album that, you know, his last album went to number 8 on iTunes.
I seen that. That was dope.
And it's opened a lot of doors. And really my relationship with the Griselda people is really through Corey. Corey is really cool with Khan, and he's done work for him, and we just kind of built from there. And then, you know, Chad, who manages Conway, is the homie, and then Jacob, who manages Benny. We've gotten cool over this last couple months trying to put some stuff together. So all cool dudes.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have a couple other artists in the pipeline that I'm working on. I've even had conversations with 7098. They have their own thing going on, but like I said, I am doing some consulting, and so we've had 2 cool conversations. He's a guy that I think is fucking incredible.
Yeah, he is. He's super talented.
Damn, man, there's some really dope people that
Corey's sick with the visuals, bro.
Yeah.
Respect.
Can I tell you something crazy about that? That's all done on his iPhone.
Really?
All of it.
Dang, bro.
All of it.
He's out here making me look bad, bro.
See, people thought it was crazy when I used to do stuff on my phone. They'd be like, "That's all you got."
Hey, when I say not just shot on the iPhone, he's editing it on the iPhone.
That's even worse. I can't do that. I can't
edit it. All those visuals you saw, did them all on his iPhone.
That's crazy.
I fucking was like, the first time he did that, he told me the story the first time he met Khan. Like, his man was like, "Yo, I got a dude who does video," and so Khan was like, "Bring him through." And he showed up, and Conway and his manager were like, "Where's your camera?" And he's like, "Right here." He pulled his phone out, and they were like, "Nah, man, like, we thought you were a real." He's like, "No, I am. Just let me do my thing, and I'll show you." And he sent it to him, and he ended up posting it. And then from there, like every time he's in Denver, or he went to New York and fucked with him.
Yeah.
And he shot for him every time.
That's what's
so
That's dope.
Hell yeah.
he puts that shit together on his phone. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to see what he does.
Yo, you got a sneaker event coming up too?
Yeah. How'd you know about that?
People be posting stuff, man. People be posting
Listen,
stuff.
man, in the words of Nardwar, your question, we're supposed to know these things.
Yeah, man.
I follow people close to you. That
Yeah. So I'll let the cat out the bag. I'm doing a sneaker show in our event center with Dank and Norm, who that used to do Sneaks Up.
Yeah.
We're doing this thing tentatively called the collab. We're gonna have live performances. We're gonna have music. We're gonna have sneakers. Bunch of little things I'm pulling out.
Okay.
So it'll be dope. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna throw a pretty crazy show in the event center next year.
Yeah.
And then we're lining up a tour for the guys. Can't say who the headliner is yet, but it's pretty dope.
Looking forward to it.
And then I have, when y'all got me in here, I'm working with Pepsi and Rockstar on this huge, massive build that we're doing.
Y'all heard that name drop? Who again?
Yeah, Pepsi owns Rockstar, but Rockstar Energy, I'm building something for them right now.
Hell yeah.
So,
That's dope, man.
Crazy, man.
And some cool names attached to that. Like I said, man, I really am fortunate, blessed.
Yeah.
I not taken away from me, man. It sounds conceited. I don't mean to concede it. I work really hard at this.
Nah, for sure.
So
you definitely did.
I mean, my son's over here to tell you, like, we used to kick it tough, and we don't kick it like we used to because I'm just always busy.
Yeah.
Always on the phone, always doing something. So, like, even my weekends, I'm working, and I put a lot of time and effort into this.
Yeah.
But I know it'll pay off, and I'm excited. I'm super excited about the future. So
we are over here excited for you, man, and we are definitely.
I'm excited for y'all. The shit y'all are doing is super fucking dope. I'm proud of y'all.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, expensive shorts is fucking.
Yo, this is
my shit. Expensive shorts.
I can't wait for the
ESP. The ESP boys.
Shorts.
ESP boys. Oh my goodness. I can't wait for the comments. This is about to be crazy.
Shout out to your origins though. Cheap Suits.
Nah, shout out to them. Shout out to those guys.
And
shout out to those guys.
The things that y'all did were remarkable and beautiful, and I loved watching that grow, and I'm loving watching this grow.
Appreciate it, man.
And I've told you, I'll say it again, MAZI, you're a fucking star, and I mean that. And Skrills, behind this shit, you're a fucking star. I wish I could say something about you. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. No. Soul is super dope, and to see that all of y'all have teamed up to do this.
Man.
Absolutely.
You have a great fucking team. And
appreciate it, man.
The work that y'all do together collectively is really special. It's just my parting words, bro.
Okay.
Is don't quit. Ever.
Thanks, man.
Just keep. Are you ready for this?
Do I hit it again?
No, hold on. I'm gonna give you this. Ready? You just need to keep pounding the rock.
Come on, man.
I know exactly who said that too.
Yeah. Come on, man.
And I can't even argue that because he's a GOAT.
He's a GOAT.
He's a GOAT.
Absolutely.
Man.
He's a GOAT.
Shout out to Coach Pop, man.
Coach Pop.
One of the greatest to ever do it. And I'll leave you with this. So my pops used to work at the Dominion Country Club, right? He's seen Coach Pop and the Spurs roster, and the whole Spurs roster up there. This is 1998. He ended up getting the 1998-1999 San Antonio Spurs whole roster, including the coaches, autographed basketball for me. I still have it. And that was the year that they won that 99 lockout season championship.
Why do you have it, though?
Exactly.
You hate
You're
the
a
Spurs.
Lakers fan, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been MAZI's World. It's been your boy MAZI. This question to my right.
Hold on.
Soul in the back. Skrills to my left. We got my man Justin in the cut over here, like alcohol, you know what I'm saying? And we out signing off.
You need to give that to Skrills, bro.
Bro.
Listen, man, share,
I like
subscribe.
to think we close.
Like, share, and subscribe. Tune in next week. Hashtag MAZI Mondays in the comment section.
MAZI Mondays.
Y'all don't understand the amount of hate I'm gonna get because I have listen, when I get home to the house tonight, whenever y'all see this, I will take a picture of the basketball and I will send it to each and every one of y'all. And y'all will see it.
I gotta see this.
Yeah. That being said, yeah. We'll see y'all next week. We out of here. Peace.
Maserati.
So focused, I just need some meaning to my name. Plus I'm cheating with these codes. If you thinking it's a game, that's real talk.